And hello, everybody. Good to be with you today. So happy Monday. We are here for another Weekend Sales Facebook Live. And it's another amazing opportunity for us to just really allow ourselves to open up to all the opportunities that are here for us on our path. And I promise, no matter what is up for us in the collective and individually, that contents will shift in flight and things are getting shaken up for all of us in this process. And it's a matter of us allowing ourselves to realize things want to shift. There's things that are wanting to shift right now. What are those things that want to shift for you? And then being decisive about them. A lot of times we prolong the blessing in different ways. I'm going to talk about that in a moment, because for whatever the reasons may be, but we get indecisive and different things create that for ourselves. And once we're onto those things, we can move through those things and allow ourselves to be more decisive more quickly. Hi, Karen. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you both today. Hi, Brian. How are you? Good to see you all. Lovely to be with you all today. So I'm going to talk about this subject for a while, and then I'm going to go ahead and do some tuning in for the group, and then individually, and then do some child messages. Okay. All right. So first of all, a couple of things. I am going to put a trigger alerts warning on this video, because you never know. I might trigger somebody. All right. There's a reason why I'm saying that too. I'm going to get into that in a moment. So trigger alert. And then the next thing is, I'm ready to say something else that's juicy to say, and it's true. I'm here to sort of make a confession about myself. You know, when I started off with moving into Your Sacred Purpose after doing the Academy for Invincible Healers was what I was doing, and it was up to doing certifications and helping people step into energy scanning and owning their gifts and getting new clients and bringing new wonderful things into people's lives through that ability to tune into people deeper. I was guided into something new, something fresh, and I just simply called it Your Sacred Purpose. That really us deepening and really connecting to the very center of our being, the very depth of our existence and our being. And so I didn't know what, I guess the name that came to me, and then I created a whole website, and then now we've got Rock Your Sacred Purpose, right, as a Facebook group. So the confession is that maybe you've noticed some shifts lately, but when I got into all this, when I first got into coaching, healing, and all this stuff, when I got into that part and I got online, I was actually very timid at first. I was very timid. I was very just give everything away, be very nice, to some degree. I mean, of course, I had offers, but I was paying my bills. I wasn't able to, accomplish anything in terms of financially of any huge note. So things were a big struggle. And one of the things that helped me break through that at the time was just realizing, okay, this isn't right. This can't be possibly my highest reflection, being nice, laying on the generosity, almost like letting people, giving people so much space to decide if they want to be my client, that I'm basically saying, hey, don't bother to be my client. I was like, well, we're doing so much great work here today that you really don't need to hire me, so just don't worry about it, But if you want to hire me, totally, because I want to be so safe. I want to be so careful that I didn't, offend anybody by my offer or, want to take anybody's money or any of that sort of stuff. I was so careful about that. And so then, best way to do that is to not allow people to sign up for your services, right? So I did that in the beginning. And then what happened is that I started realizing, okay, you're not going to be able to ever pay your bills. You're never going to get caught up in all this, huge debt that I accumulated until you get decisive about wanting clients and step into the energy that allows you to do that. And so I did. I got decisive. I said, okay, I'm going to counterbalance the sense of being so whatever and infinite space and whatever you want, to being more hey, I feel it for you, and let's do this thing. Let's address the things I'm actually picking up on in the scan, and there is something to do here. And I started getting into that energy, so much so it one day, this is one of the breakthroughs I talk about a lot, is I had someone, I had done a scan, I outlined some of the transformations I saw for her that wanted to happen, and I said, that's it. I forget the exact words at the time, but I was like, come on, let's go, let's do this thing or something like that, or I was probably nicer than that, but I was like, come on, boom. And then she's like, wait a minute, are you sure? Are you really sure that, I should be working with you? I mean, is this really right? And I'm like, absolutely. Now get out your credit card and let's go, And I felt like I was very aggressive at the time. I thought it was very, very hard on her. And no, she took out her credit card, she signed up, and we all lived happily ever after, so to speak. She got great services, great shifts and whatnot. I literally don't remember all the shifts that person got or all the specifics. I seem to remember it being a really good thing. It was positive. It was positive. I got a new client. She got some results to the level she was willing to get all her results, but she had breakthroughs. And so it was good. And, from that day forward, I started being more decisive. I started saying, that's it. I'm going in and I need to be clear that whatever's going on for these people, I am there to tell the truth as far as I can tell, and not to water it down so much, right? Try to be so nice and so, laid back. And so for me, I had to get decisive around that, stepping into not just my power, but the power within all of us. Because if someone is triggered, if somebody were to be triggered in the process, it's really an opportunity for them. Now, they may or may not resonate with that. They might just think I did it to them and all that sort of stuff. But we all know in deeper spiritual teaching, we're never doing anything to somebody ultimately, right? We're not there to try to harm people, of course, but we're there actually to stir a transformation. And not everybody is going to be happy about what we have to share. So the most powerful sessions even I've had with people have been hugely triggered sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes we've had incredible sessions, there's high flying energy, right? And it's just all that good stuff, right? Or just supportive, whatever. But so many varieties. But there are sessions I've had that have been so powerful when I was just so pointed and direct and decisive with people. And they sometimes that is what makes a session so deep and powerful. And the people that can handle it appreciate it. And some people can't. I've had people, even if they appreciate what I have to share, not come back to me again. Now, it doesn't usually happen, but it has happened because I was so strong that they couldn't find their way back to come back to me for another session or whatever was left because, they just felt like, wow, that's big and I'm really being with that, right? And who knows why you don't hear back from people, but they thanked me at the end of the session telling me it was really powerful. So I didn't think it was because it was bad for them, but I could tell it was just so powerful to them they couldn't maybe digest it. And it's not a lot of cases, but there's some clients that I've had like that. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that actually, maybe it's more than I'm letting on right now, because when I think about again, so many people that have seen financial results and seen some really big transformations specifically on money too. And then sometimes in every area of their life, it's they were hugely triggered by me in the beginning. Not everybody, but usually just about everybody. Everybody gets triggered by me eventually as they grow in working with me. So we have to remember people are going to get upset. They're going to, but if we can prepare people for that's the key. And that's where my confession is sometimes I didn't. And then what happened is because I got so tired of people getting so upset with me at times, even if it's not super often, but at times that I just got really more and more surrendered, more yin, all that stuff. But what I found is that that really didn't serve, what I've discovered in a number of ways is that's not really serving the highest. So everybody's got their own paths. I feel like everybody's got their own medicine to bring, but what are you holding back? I guess is what I'm trying to say. My confession is I haven't been bringing the rock to your rock, your sacred purpose as much as is authentic to me. So be prepared for a little more rock your sacred purpose here. So, you know, we want to be integrated, right? We want to be integrated with the fullness of who we are. If we're steely and fiery, if that's part of our nature, then we need to bring that on. And for so long, I tried to just kind of calm down on all that stuff to my detriment. So that's my big confession today. And so what I'm here to say today is we have to really just get decisive about, you know, claiming our power back and not holding back wherever we've been holding back. Maybe you're holding back more on relaxing more. You know, that's very possible. Or you're holding back on, you know, most of us do the people pleasing thing, right? We're not being decisive, like, hey, I'm just going to tell it the way it is and that's it. Like, I just had somebody, you know, I just messaged, and it doesn't matter the content, but I had sent her like a 5-minute voice clip because it was sort of a serious matter in my eyes. But she's like, hey, I'm busy right now. Could you just type it out for me? Like, I'm really busy. And in a way, I really appreciated it, because it's like, okay, she's being decisive. She's being clear. She's really nice about it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what she wants. Okay. I may not want to type out a message in that moment, but there's a decisiveness. And so decisiveness helps bring us boundaries. Decisiveness can bring us a power actually to elevate and to get into our self-awareness, where our higher self-awareness, where we're just observing everything. Sometimes when we're not being decisive, we get more and more caught up into, when our emotions get stirred, we get more and more caught up in those emotions of what we're feeling. And then we're like, oh, I don't want to feel this way anymore. Let me just do whatever pleases me, which is our habits and patterns. Or it's going to please that person, which is another habit or pattern, right? Rather than just stay in your truth, know your truth, and then allow yourself to connect with the observant self that can see it all, that already knows it all, and to stand in that space and let things work themselves out from your own decisiveness, whatever the case may be. So in sales, it can be to stand in your truth about what you see as the opportunities for somebody when you're going to work with them, or when you do work with them, to stand in that even when they get upset, because I've seen time and time again, and when I slip on this, it gets to be an issue. I've tried it different ways. When we allow ourselves to be more strong and clear, we can still be in our heart space, of course, totally, just like I've been saying, but at the same time, being in that power, there's this multidimensional aspect of ourselves, being in our steely power to say, yeah, I hear you and my heart feels for you, and, you know, I'm getting this, you know, coming from our true power and our decisiveness. And people don't need to agree. People do not need to agree with you in life, right? People could say, I think you're the worst thing that's ever happened. They could say whatever they want, but you know, you don't want to go back. You can't go back. You can't go back. You've got to be in your strength and your truth. For every rock star, there are people out there that are not happy with those people, right? So it's kind of it is universal. It is absolutely universal. There's not an exception. But people are like those bigger, bright light people. There is somebody out there that's like actively upset with them because they're triggering something in them. They've shined their light so big, so strongly, and then whatever is inside of them that they have a problem with what's coming up is something they've got to work upon within themselves, and in one way or another. So we have to stand in our own truth and be decisive. And so what I was talking about with that quote, I don't know if she's going to listen to this later or see this later, but you know, one of our members that I've interacted a little extra with at times, I'll just say that, but like Angela Legge, I'm not sure on her how to pronounce her last name. But anyway, so she has this quote on her website. Check it out. But she was talking about, like, yeah, I'm reading this right off the screen, but nobody has ever died from feeling their painful feelings, yet many have died from their chosen method of escaping their painful feelings. So so often when we're feeling pain and we get stirred, whatever the challenge is in our business, man, I'm not making sales. And this, I don't know, is this working out for me? Am I going to make it? Am I going to be successful? Or am I going to hit that next level? Or maybe the business is worse than it's ever been before, financially with the sales. Or you're hitting, man, I've got deadlines. I've got so many things to get done. How's it ever going to happen? And maybe this isn't for me. Or, like those ideas come up sometimes. And it's those emotions that can move us into a decisiveness. What are those feelings trying to tell us, right? I don't have any new news there. It's like, what are they really trying to tell you? Are they telling you to retreat and go do something else with your life? Or are they telling you, no, double down or take a break or, hey, how about this new idea? How about going in this direction with your business, right? So what are the feelings really trying to tell you? Being with those painful feelings just long enough until you're like, I'm listening, tell me what you're really trying to tell me. And then when you realize what they're really trying to tell you, is to go in that direction fearlessly. And I say, no matter what the so-called consequences will be, oh my God, my finances. Oh my God, what will people out there say? Oh my God, will people see the side of me? Oh my God, or whatever it is, like, what is my spouse going to think? What's my family going to think? What is my client base going to think? Who are the people already following me going to think about this? Whatever it is, it's like, all that doesn't matter. You have to be fearless because ultimately it's about your path. It's about you rocking your path, doing your thing. And whatever everybody else thinks really, in a way, really just doesn't matter in a sense. It's like it matters what you're meant to be standing for right now and being decisive about it. And I promise you that will deepen awakening. And that ultimately, if you stay with that, and don't get wishy-washy about it, it's going to change your sales. It's going to transform your sales because you'll start working. People are stronger or more able to work with you in that frequency or however you want to look at it. And the new opportunities are going to come flooding in for you. So, you have to listen to those feelings and be willing to be with them, no matter how excruciating it can be at times. Like sometimes, like, I've been listening, I still don't get it, right? And to come to the other side of it and realize, okay, I can either keep feeling this pain or I can start listening to what it's really trying to tell me and move forward in this direction fearlessly. And then when you do that, then the new results start to happen. Like usually sooner than later. Then the new results start to happen. I hope this makes sense. Hi, it's Lisa and Melanie and everybody. And let's see, Dr. Sophie. I'm so grateful for having these replays, Danielle. I always gain insights when I'm in your energy. Oh, thanks. Yeah, sunny Iowa. Yeah, it's been a little more sunnier here. It's like, finally, I think it's up in the 40 degrees here today. So, oh, thanks, Lisa, for sharing that. Yeah, I appreciate being with you all. So what is it that's coming up for you? If you have comments on that, what's coming up for you? What have you been suffering from lately? Is it lack of sales? Is it, what is it? What is it in your, it could be in your life too, like your overall relationships or whatever it is. All I can say is there's a judging element inside of us. There's a judging element that you'll be perceived and experienced in the outer in your relationships. And, it's not going away. It will be there. And then it stirs feelings. So, because that's where the feelings get stirred for us. The uncomfortable, the painful feelings get stirred from the sense of judgments towards ourselves, sense of judgments towards others, right? Or judgments towards us. And it's all a looking mirror into ourselves, right? So we're looking into ourselves and we're saying, wow, that's what's going on for me. Let me take a look. Like, what is this really trying to tell me? Because there's something that you need to be with it, right? But then eventually there's a new decision that's wanting to be made through those feelings that you have. At least that's my truth. That's what I have to share. You can let me know what you think. Hey, Lois, good to see you. So I'm about to do happy to do some maybe scanning around this, and then I'll keep watching for your comments and whatnot. But yeah, where are you guys at in terms of being decisive, and what keeps you from being decisive about, maybe going for it full on into doing more speaking or making more offers, or, owning your value with what you have to bring forth in the world, etc. So where are you maybe not being decisive? Let's see what I get for the group first. Well, I'm getting, and I know like the nature of my teaching can seem contradictory at times, guys. Okay. Um, this isn't like mathematics. Actually, mathematics at a high level is very like interesting, right? It's actually kind of confusing to the mind as well. But like, so if I say something, get trigger alert, you might think I'm contradicting myself. But like, as I'm scanning, I'm getting like this idea of like, even maybe what I hinted at saying before, said before, like in part anyway, like this idea of like, hey, I'm just meditating or just kind of tuning everything in. And once my guidance tells me, then I'll move forward on something. There's nothing wrong with it. It's part of what I teach. But it's also, sometimes it's like, when these emotions are stirring, but you're, yeah, but I'm meditating and I'm waiting for the signal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, see, that's what I mean. Like, that's where there's not a contradiction, I guess. So it's like within those emotions, like that's your intuition too, right? So something in that is trying to tell you something. So when you feel those painful or heavier feelings, what is it trying to tell you? What is the real thing it's trying to help you rise up for? And it's something to empower you. It's something to empower you and everything. And so what is that? Because I think we start tuning that out. We're like, I don't know, just let go of those feelings. Let's just tune in to source and see what source has to say. But then you miss the message from the emotional body of what it's really trying to say, right? It's like, I'll just talk to the main source. Don't. So, but we listen to that, everything we need is coming up in those emotions and those feelings. That's what I'm hearing on that. Scan the chakra fields, everything, just whatever's coming through as well. Yeah, I'm just seeing the needed desire for more grounding, being, just like when we're becoming decisive, to be grounded, to ground ourselves. So let's see what else they have to say on that. My thing is to get on the ground, get on the ground, put the third eye on the ground, right? Just really like breathing in the energy of the earth, and just, all the different things we can do to ground. Maybe seeing a sword, like, whatever makes you feel good to help you ground. But like, if it's archangel Michael or whatever, just feeling that sword, going through the root chakra down into the core of the earth. And then they're showing me the third eye again and again too. Being willing to presence what we actually are perceiving intuitively, like to be willing to share about that, rather than continue to not acknowledge that for ourselves and others. Like, I know for myself, like, again, these scans are always about me at the same time. Like, I'm doing the whole group, right, for all of us. So, it's a oneness field. And what I'm getting is just, again, sometimes I just know like clockwork what's happening and when it's going to happen. Not always, okay? There's things that I'm like, oh, I didn't quite anticipate that, for sure. But like, there's a lot of times I'm really tuned in. I just know what's going to unfold. And yet, some part of me might want to act like I don't know. Because what if I get it wrong, right? What if I get it wrong? What if intuitively I feel this is going to happen, that's going to happen, then it's not what I think? But like, the majority of the time I've been really tuning into it, whatever the percent chance is, 80, 90% or more, it's going to be along the lines of what's being perceived. So to claim your knowing, because when you know what's about to happen or wants to happen, you can either allow that to just unfold, Or you can make a decisive, and that's being decisive, like I'm decisively allowing that to simply be and unfold. Or you can decisively be like, oh, I see that's happening. I have a sense I should be interacting with that and intervening or participating in that vision. In other words, let's say, boy, I really feel like my partner is gonna, that they're gonna say like, hey, let's go to dinner tonight, and I just don't feel like going to dinner tonight. Well, I'm just gonna let that happen. I'll just let them know I don't feel like that later. Okay, fine. That's simple, like, right? Or you could be like, oh, I'm feeling like they want to do that. Okay. Oh, maybe if I just take a 20-minute break right now and decompress, maybe and turn on the dance music, maybe that's going to create the energy for me to want to do that tonight, and then I'll be ready for it. Okay. All right. And then now you're creating that, right? So instead of like, oh, I just kind of feel like this is going to happen and that's the way it is, like you can actually intervene, get decisive, get clear, and have the experience of, at least, no matter what our beliefs are about it, but I have the experience of rocking your sacred purpose, like decided creating your reality, so to speak. Again, I put that in quotation marks because, who knows, right, if we're creating it, but like it's a sense of I'm participating, I'm creating my reality through doing this. Okay. And yeah, sure, you could consult your guidance, what serves your highest. And sometimes just being decisive about what you're sensing to choose as a soul is what is your intuition, is your desire, right? Because you may not resonate fully intuitively with something till your vibration aligns with it. And then it can happen. So I'm not ready to date you till I'm ready to date you, like that kind of thing. I'll be ready when I am ready. Maybe it could be sooner, but it depends. So it all depends. But there is an ability there are opportunities for things to happen sooner rather than later. It's not always for your highest good to try to spark something earlier, but it could be. And you're just being decisive about what you're choosing, being aware of that. Like, what am I, quote unquote, choosing? What am I going with there? So when you're with those potential clients, for example, rather than holding back on your intuition, what you're sensing about them, and again, even your current client, it's like just put it right on the carpet, right on the table. Well, I'm feeling like this and like that and the other thing. Like so many people have thanked me when I just put it right on the table. Like I don't dance around it. I just like, here it is, right? Like, yeah, again, we can always ask people if they're ready to hear or picking up on it, but to make sure we say it. Sometimes I say what I think is the craziest thing to say, and then it ends up being the most important thing to say. Yeah, I'm feeling tension in my head. Some of that may be just personal to me, but I'm hearing it's for the groups to some degree too. Let's see. Yeah, just squeezing. Too much to do. Oh. So it narrows like our ability to be open and receptive to all possibilities as we keep squeezing into all these activities we think we need to get accomplished. So instead, like sometimes we need to get decisive and even being surrendered, right? I'm decisively surrendering to things as they are. And allowing myself just to be for right now, that's really important sometimes. You see the neck chop off energy. How many times have I seen that? Wow, how surprising. Let's see on that. Partly it's a feeling of like you're gonna get in trouble if you're too lazy. But you want to say, screw you, you can't make me do it. Okay. Rebel soul energy I'm picking up on. Yeah, Messenger will be shot, right? Hey, source is telling me to tell you. Bang! Okay. Okay, I don't want to be the shot messenger. Okay. All right. I know, I keep hearing stand in your power, stand in your truth when you're really connected, when you're in the connected, just intent, just it's hard to explain, but when you're just willing to be connected and in your power, it's going to work its way through. You're not going to be killed. You are safe, you're protected, you're well. And even if you are, hey, I mean, even if you are, well, you gotta wonder, like, well, I can't be afraid of that though, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's a great thing or a good or bad thing, but I'm saying can't be afraid of it. I mean, can't be afraid that that could happen. Otherwise, we're busy manufacturing it anyway. So as a messenger in the world too, like you all have your own unique messages. And as best as I can, again, I'm human, so I may not always get it right, so to speak, but like I honor, my head has tons of opinions, okay? I could shoot down like so many different ideas out there. But my heart, my soul is like all these perspectives, no matter what people have to say or share, they're all meant to be shared. They are meant to be shared. So, and it's, if people are getting diluted by what's being shared out there, even if they're kind of out there ideas or whatever if you want to call it that, but like in other words, even if you were so-called wrong, we talked about all this last week, like if you're coming from the heart space, you mean the best and you're bringing your best, then you just have to trust that it's enough and that you're meant to bring it for a reason, and to just trust that message. Man, I keep feeling I should share this message with the world. But, and then you're like, I don't know, it doesn't feel so great. I'm not getting too excited about it. I keep feeling like I should share it, right? Remember, sometimes you won't feel excited about something until you start getting into it. Once you start getting into it, that's happened to me time and time again. When I first started doing these lives, I was like, oh my God, this feels so awkward and weird. Now it feels rather natural. And I of course enjoy them. So you've got to be willing to move through that discomfort sometimes. It's not always our initial sense that it's bliss and joy we're moving into. Sometimes it feels like we're moving into being annihilated. And yet we know, like, I'm meant to take these steps, whatever it is. And then the joy and the bliss and the fulfillment can flow from there. Just see the energy going to the power center. Arrows. Okay. Yeah. Remember, you are meant to play the villain in some people's scenes. You just are. When you're fully being yourself, you're going to be the villain in someone's scene. And it just is what it is. And when you step into the fullness of who you are, you're going to be the champion for so many people as well, right? So that if you look through a proper lens, you'll see more of that going on than anything. But you're always going to have those that say, no, you're the villain. We don't like that. Eckhart Tolle, give us a break with your passive stuff. You just, that's so passive. You don't want us to be in our power. It just sounds passive. Accept everything as it is. You're a villain. You're a villain. You're probably working with the Illuminati to get us passive, right? Someone could think that, right? I'm sure there's people that do it. Or you're just so far out there. It's so ridiculous. Present moment with that. What's that doing for us? The now? Yeah, whatever. The now's here, whatever. So someone is innocent, appearing anyway, as Eckhart, like, even he could be a huge villain in other people's lives. And I've talked about this before. You could see all the nastiness. You could find it out there if you want to. The haters for just about anybody that's highly visible. Okay. Yeah. Last message maybe for right now is just to trust your power. You're get in right relationship with your power by bringing it forth and trusting it. A lot of times we've been holding back on our power so long that we feel it's this huge power and we're going to blow everybody up with it. The truth is, it's just actually just being a real signal in the world. And again, if you're coming from your heart at the same time, you're going to be fine. It's going to go well, and the sense of mistakes will happen. And we're all going to experience human folly, and we have to forgive ourselves in that regard. Okay, yeah, embrace it. Embrace our folly. No, we're all learning in the process. We're all learning and gaining. Okay. Yeah, there are times to write down declarations. Okay, like, hey, I'm going to do this. That's it. Manufacture it for your mind isn't the way to do it, but like when you get a download, like, hey, I'm doing this, then just follow through on it. I mean, unless you're really clear intuitively, you're not meant to. But when you get that feeling, you know, your felt feeling, or that drops in your power, you're like, I'm going to do that. Then that's it. Be decisive about it. Like, okay, that's happening. And then yeah, you can work with your intuition about, okay, what wants to happen, how it's going to happen, and who it's going to happen with. I love that. Like, I heard someone say that recently. Who is it going to happen with? I think it was actually one of my guests, Gary Bodley. I think it was him. Anyway, he's going to be coming up soon on the platform. Who are we going to do it with? Whoever said it, I like that. Who am I going to do it with rather than like how am I going to do it? Who am I going to do it with? Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's open some energy, clearing energy at least. Okay, right. Patricia, hey, good to see you. Trust yourself, create your reality. Love this. All right. Let's see, who else? We've got Melanie. Still that voice of fear and doubt about doing it right. Yeah, that's right. We're not gonna get it right, guys. We're gonna do something that's supposedly not right. How many times did I say or this or that? The speech coaches are having a field day on me, right? Right? It's okay. It's okay. I'm shaking right now from having made an offer. And because they seem to be saying yes, just have to put everything in writing. Yes, awesome, Lisa, that's awesome. Yes, we will be shaken up sometimes when we make these powerful offers. Sometimes for some of you, for the first time in your life, where you make a bigger offer than ever before, and it can shake you. I remember it wasn't a paid offer that got me like that, that I can remember recently. I mean, it's probably, I'm sure it stirred me at times, but mostly it was just happy to be able to bring somebody on when those things have happened. But I can remember like having a panic attack after asking a major transformational leader to join me for a summit I was doing. And I was shaking because she kind of was judging me. She's like, you've been kind of, I don't know about your approach, the way you approached me about this. And like, I'll just leave it at that. So she didn't like the approach. She's like, oh, then again, I guess I've used that approach myself. So I held space. I had a panic attack because she hung up the phone with me and said she'd just think about it. Within 5 minutes, she called me back after I had my little panic, or whatever amount of minutes it was. She says, yep, I'm going to do it. So yeah, we just hang in there, Lisa. That is huge. You're having a massive breakthrough. I love that. Thanks for sharing that today. Okay, this thing's acting kind of goofy here on me. Brian says, anytime we start to change, it's like chipping away at it. Eventually, just like chipping rock, the bigger piece breaks off. Yes, more is exposed like a major issue. Okay. Small issues than to deal with. Oh yeah, it's easier to tackle the small issues than to deal with big ones. If people withdraw from working with us, it's more about them than us. People sometimes just need that space to acclimate, to process what's coming up. That can be true. That can be true. And, or you may never hear from them again, and that's okay. That, it's okay. We have to just realize, like, whatever you knew to be your truth, and then true for you, that you're doing that you're about that. And if you ever feel like you got something wrong, okay, well, what do you do now? That's what matters. How are you going to respond to the sense of like, oh, maybe I could have done better with that or something in life. Like, well, how are you going to respond to that? That's what matters. And if other people are going to judge you at the end of the time, then they will. Like, okay, that's what they're doing. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, awesome. So, was anybody just want an overall energy scan today? Energy scan. I'll tune in to any messages Source seems to want to bring forth. Thank you for reminders about being safe, shooting the messenger, and standing in my power. Taking action moves through the fear. Felt the fear and charged the client a new rate. Oh, awesome. 50% higher. She paid it right away. Awesome. That's so awesome, Melanie. That's so awesome. I'm so grateful to hear that today. Oh my God, that's a huge celebration. 2 of you. I'm so grateful to hear that from people hanging out here. If I've had it, and even 1% of an influence on that, or any slight 0.1% influence on that, I am so grateful to hear that, you guys. It is so wonderful. I just want to just have a big celebration together with all of you. And Patricia says she wants an energy scan. Cool. Let's do some energy scan. Let's see what comes through. Now, we are on the topic of decisiveness, but whatever comes through overall and then around that topic. Thank you, Patricia, for letting me do this energy scan for you. So there's this, yeah, hey, cool. This, I don't think I've ever done any scanning for you before. I've got this sense of spaciousness coming into your energy field. So that tells me that, of course, what I know about you already, of course, is that, man, the amount of space that you hold for people is huge. Like, the space is just huge. It's a huge space you hold for people. Again, I put that loosely. You're holding it, but like there's this huge space that's being held through you. Okay. There is, in the crown chakra, there's some energy still there. Again, things have improved over the years, but like we want to be smart. We want to figure things out. We want to get things right. There's nothing wrong with that, right, at one level, but it can get a little hairy in there. Like, oh my God, because you hold such big space, and you can be a big old psychic channel like me, and then yeah, like if something goes a little stray or something, you're like, oh, that was really smart, like, like the opposite of that word, but like I'm just saying, like, oh, that was really smart, wow, like so it, and then just, oh man, we got to deal with this and that. Frustration levels can go through the roof at times with things. Like, I just can feel it coming up. Like, for me, it feels like in my back and spine. Like, then we got to deal with this and that and that. But then when you get into stuff, it's just the other thing. You're like, oh, la, 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 la. And I see that coming up, the energy of the back and spine. So, okay. So, as far as decisiveness goes, when the tension builds up, it's like, oh man, it's like a choking feeling sometimes. It's like, oh, like I feel it here, and then the like sacral lower solar plexus, and like, okay, let me see. It's like something about we can control you. We can something about we can control you. Hold on. No, it feels like this life. It's like, because you can be so strong in your energy, I just feel like there's been people that are always like, in the past maybe especially, but like just like they're like, no, just go down and stay down. Like, don't show up so powerful. Don't say those things. And for you, you're a little firecracker, big cat firecracker, whatever. I'm not trying to demean you. You're the firecracker, right? Like, you're like, I'll tell it the way it is, and you can be really good at that at times, but it's like, yeah, like that. There can be some, again, there could be some holding back because, man, maybe it's going to be just a little too much. Let's see, for who or what, okay. Like maybe there could be a sense, again, it could be more subconscious than just in your conscious, but maybe I'm going to push them too far, and then, yeah. And then maybe they want to go away or something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Um, yeah, and your compassionate side will wonder that maybe I took it too far. Yeah, so what I said earlier, I don't know if you were here earlier, Patricia, is just, I think for people like ourselves, we just have, and maybe you already do this, but like, we just have to tell people, trigger alert, here it comes. I got truth that wants to come through me, and I'm going to tell it the way it is. And if people are triggered, then they're triggered, but you warn them. And okay. So again, and if you do these things already, great. I'm just doubling down on it for together with you. Yeah, maybe there could be like so much more you could share by share again with the one with the third eye I said earlier. There could be so much more downloads and so many more things you could perceive inside people and for people. Maybe if you double down on that intuitive psychic superpower that you obviously have. I just get done. Okay, here I hear done. Okay, so hopefully something in there was helpful. Okay, so you're, haha, yes, truth. Thank you so much. I can feel this. I've been working with my subconscious. Cool. Always grateful for your energy scans. Okay, so I hear that Melanie would like one, it sounds like. Okay. All right, awesome. Thanks for sharing, Patricia. Grateful to do this. Just watching my time real quick. Okay, so let's go to Melanie. Let's see what comes in for you today. Okay, good. So there's some openness in your upper field that feels new. I feel like I am hearing the words newly married, like not literally, but like there's like oh like a like the sense of being a happy newlywed. Like, oh, you're letting it in. This is so good. So there's that part. It's coming in. Let's see. A connection, a trust, and energy and value coming into your body. But it stops, it's sort of stopping though around the neck area. Thereabouts. So as long as we just do let everything be only so visible, then we're good. So it seems like we get into those lower, the throat chakra and be more vulnerable, getting your lower power center, lower chakra energy. I'm sorry. Yeah, that being in that power is where some of this next level growth is for you for sure. Then, so just like this is who I am from down here, like that, rather than your mental mind or from your downloads or that sort of energy, all that beautiful high vibe energy. But like there's the embodiment, the embodiment of the trueness of who you are, and then radiating that. I hear like things like words like stillness, meditate, yoga to support that anyway, in part. Breath, your breath, feeling into your body more and more. And as you cultivate that, you'll be moving in your life and your business more from the body. So this is huge. Whatever you're doing here, whatever's been going on here to bring in more energy through the crown and even through the third eye, that's opening up more. Now we're just letting more and more into the body now. Because, once you are willing to let all that show, then there's a new, we'll call it decisive energy, right? A more decisive energy radiating from there. Yeah, it's like you can part the sea then, like with your energy, like just... Now things are like easier. There's a little bit of a toiling energy still. So this like opens your body to receiving in a big, deep way. Your energetic body, physical body. Yeah, kind of getting a done signal from there. Okay, hopefully this is helpful. Oh, thank you, Patricia. Thank you. All right, so, all right, folks. Well, if that's all, we can wrap up with channeled messages within a channel prayer, perhaps. Let's see, are there any specific? No, I'm just getting channeled prayer. Okay, so let's go into the channeled prayer. And again, if you want to come back and play with me again, so to speak, next week you can come and tune in next week on Monday at 3 p.m. Central for another episode, so to speak, or Facebook Live. I'm not sure, I always get the topic like later in the week, so not sure what we'll talk about, but it's always awesome. It's always towards the topic of awakening and sales, awakened sales, hence then the Facebook Live. Okay, let's do the prayer. So if you just join me, take that nice deep breath then, in through your nose, up through your crown chakra, up through your higher self, up to love, light, source, energy, up to the all, and as you exhale through your mouth, let this energy come back down through your higher self, down through your crown chakra, down through all your chakras, through your body, through your field, down through your feet, down through your root chakra, down to the core of the earth. As I speak these words, and they I am, for everyone listening to my voice, as I recognize God, love, life, source, spirit is all there is. I'm grateful for life, providing me with the opportunity to say yes to myself right now. As I'm grateful for all the feelings, all the emotions, all the energies that I get to experience in life. I'm willing to allow myself to find the big yes that's within all of it. And what is it that I'm meant to be decisive about this day, this week, this moment? I'm willing to be decisive and to just cut to the chase, knowing that that will end the unnecessary suffering that is the long fuse suffering. That might not be as a sense of intensity that I might experience initially by moving and shifting and being uncomfortable for a while, but moving through the issue. I'm willing to move through the issue. I'm willing to stop with the slow poisoning of myself and experience the movement of energy within my being that wants to experience and express and share itself through me for the highest betterment for all, beyond all judgments of the mind. And knowing that from that place, I'm landing, I'm grounding, I am fulfilling my purpose in the greatest, the most powerful way by being decisive and clear within my energy, with whatever it is I know to be true for myself right now. So I'm willing to be clear about the things that are stirring for me and what they're trying to tell me by simply asking, hey, what are you trying to tell me? And allow myself to be observant, to say yes to those things and start making new decisions that allows me to manifest new clients, new opportunities, new higher level value, signing higher level clients than ever before, and all the rest. And knowing that it's happening now, that I'm ready for not just one or two here or there, I can allow for there to be many, to allow myself to fully thrive and prosper, and know that from that place, everybody's prospering. And I know that if that's true, when I allow myself to sense that truth and know that it comes not from outside validation only, no, the real truth comes from within me, and I'm validating that truth in advance from within, knowing that then it radiates and I get to see it and experience it in my outer world, knowing that I can see it even when it's not so obvious. I'm willing to keep seeing it and be firm and clear about the results that I know are happening through all things, because I'm willing to be decisive and clear. So I allow the highest good to unfold through all of it, knowing again, it can be decisive, to be surrendered in moments as well. It's all good, it's all God. Let the highest and greatest good unfold from the center of my heart and from the true power that I am. And from that place, I let the greatest awakening, the greatest impact, and the greatest sales to unfold in my business for the highest good of all. So let it be so, let it be done. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Okay, everybody, so happy to have been with you today. And thank you, Melanie and Brian, for your comments there. I'm going to read those in a moment. I just want to thank you for all your comments and all your participation. And yes, I'm grateful to have you, Patricia. And so I look forward to being with you the next time then. Okay, Monday, 3 p.m. Central. See you then. Lots of love. Bye for now.